So I've been with IMAP around 18 months now, and this is the first time I've been able to get out and talk about the direction of travel. So I'm super excited to be here at I think what's an important time for us in a post-COVID environment. So I'll start with this slide. We have an investment management system that enables well-informed investment decisions. It ensures that investment management is efficient, effective and sustainable, and it enables agencies, system players and investment officials to perform effectively. Key to that for me and the team in IMAP is investment officials that provide stewardship, and we're exploring governance. So Lara talked about the GCDO, the Government Chief Digital Officer, Government Procurement and Property and the MB, the Chief Data Steward, the Infrastructure Commission, along with the Public Service Commission and the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet features of investment officials. And this is a group that I think is absolutely key to supporting an improvement in investment management. So the picture down below, I think, is one of the things that we refer to as the investment management system, investment life cycle. We talk about it a lot. I think it's key to the investment management system and doing investment well. We need to be well planned. We need to think about the investment needs and opportunities that are coming up. Then we need to plan. We need high quality business cases. They're key to the next phase, which is choose, the budget process, where we need to select the attractive, achievable and affordable investments. Then we're on to do, where I think the focus is most of the time, which is it on time, on budget, to spec, will the benefits be realised? And then realise the one thing that has been impressed upon me in my new role, something that we don't generally do well, and something we need to focus much more on. Are we getting the benefits? And this is something that I've been buoyed by in recent pre-election conversations with ministers, where they were really asking, am I getting the benefit from these investments? So that's really put the Treasury on the spot, I think. Thank you for the slide, Liz. I like this slide. It shows how investment officials are nested in the broader public service system. So we can see investment officials are an important part of the investment management system, which is an important part of the public finance system, which is an important part of the public service system. So together, investment officials determine and work towards all of system objectives, something we are very focused on. They provide expert advice at critical decision points, talk about that more, and they identify and manage system risks and opportunities, something Lara alluded to, and develop and maintain system tools and processes. Now, while I say this is together what investment officials do, it's not quite the case at the moment, but it's something that we really do want to work towards. Understanding our current state. So a big thank you here for a lot of you for the support that you gave Karen Tregaskis and team in working through the IMAP operating model review. So we really appreciate all the free and frank feedback that you provided. It was eminently useful and it has been used to design our future. So look, we were aware of the need to change to support the investment management system. So to kickstart that change with the support of the Treasury, we hired Tregaskis Brown to help us develop a new operating model. That work involved a number of workshops and interviews with many of you to understand what our stakeholders thought about how we needed to change. We also drew on ministerial feedback, which I think was super important because we needed to understand what they thought they actually needed. And more recently, we have undertaken a SWOT with investment officials around the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats that they see in the system to incorporate it in our future operating model. There are a number of key issues that were called out, which I'm sure we can talk about one-on-one. But I think the key issues that were called out for me were there's a lack of coherent strategy and poor integration. The picture which resonated with everyone is Karen's coloured dots. So what we heard was our products have a lot of value. The Better Business Case framework is fantastic. The ICR, fantastic. Gateway, really, really good. But universally, there was room to improve. So taking that on board, and universally, there was a need to see them as more of a system, needed to be integrated within the Treasury, and they needed to be integrated within the investment management system because that's key to success. Much of the guidance we had was out of date, and we were unable to provide an end-to-end view for ministers, for agencies, and for the Treasury on what was coming up in the investment management system. Data, we heard. So, in addition, many raised system settings. This one's for you, Karen. And the artificial split between capital and operating expenditure. So we had a lot of feedback, which was very, very useful. So that was good. We were setting off on a trajectory, and then the world changed. The investment management system needs to evolve to solve the existing problems and address the new pressures that have been driven by COVID-19. Coming into our process, we had a lot of system change to deal with, and then we had COVID-19, which has increased investment in the system as a stimulus response. It is driving ongoing disruption and uncertainty, and this is just exacerbating existing system problems that we have. It's making it worse. There's more delay, more cost and risk in the global supply chains, which is threatening the portfolio. The borders are shut. We just have to do what we can with what we have, notwithstanding the miracles of Microsoft Teams. So we're acutely aware of the operating environment that we're in, and I promised my boss Paul Helm I wouldn't mention budget, so I will stop with what I would love to say next.
But there is no money.
It's coming soon. So strengthening the investment system, our priorities and work program. So the one thing I've been really pleased with at the Treasury is we're under immense pressure, as everyone knows, and especially during COVID. And putting your hand up to say we need some money to change was a hard thing to do, and we really got put through the ringer. But the Treasury has supported our team in saying we do need to change in this area and we do need some support. So the Treasury is definitely committed to strengthening the investment management system from what I've seen. So we're putting resource into building solid foundations in IMAP and the investment management system. So we've moved to 3 functional teams. You may have seen some ads out. We've got a investment, we've got a stewardship and governance team going from left to right, a data team which is really focused on our data strategy, and we have a team that's focused on our products and services. So in strengthening the investments system, what these teams are going to be focused on is building an enduring foundation for system stewardship. We want to really focus on the leadership of the investment management system. We really want collective system management to help support agencies deliver the right investments. And we really want stewardship and governance of the data and reporting across the system. We've heard it, and we're really focused on it. And we are definitely strengthening the team in that area. We want integrated advice and assurance services. So the investor confidence rating that I'll come to shortly, we want to revitalise it. Part of the work we're doing around improving our operating model incorporates, again, working with Karen Tregaskis and team on the investor confidence rating. And we want to Share interventions. We want business case clinics, the capital budget process, the ICR outlook conversations, which I'll come to. We want them to be driven by investment officials because they have special and unique lenses that we can apply. And we really want to apply incentives and controls to reinforce the expectations in the system. So, we want to reward preferred budget bids that are in line with the system settings and tools and make better use of the ICR and the guidance that it provides in budget decision making. So what can you expect from us? A renewed emphasis on system settings, so the Better Business Case framework. Risk profile assessments, I think, are absolutely key. We want to see risk profile assessments for every initiative that's coming through. We want to see the business case being actually done and used. Where there's a business case to be done and it's high risk, we want to have a business case clinic to support you to deliver. Again, the deliberate preference for budget bids that are well signalled, planned and consulted. We need to be well planned in our new environment. We want to have more scrutiny, analysis and discussion in the investment pipeline. Ministers have said we need to be better planned, and we all know we need to be better planned and better structured. We want more holistic engagement with investment advisors from across the government in every phase of the investment management system. We have system leads, we have the GCDO, we have Chief Government Data Steward, we have Infracom. They have a valuable perspective and we want to use it. Interest in the broader outcomes that being generated from investment, jobs, reduced emissions, a real focus of the government going forward. And something that the Minister and Carolee, our Chief Executive, are focused on is an ongoing emphasis on the living standards framework and aligning with government priorities. I mean, climate change is the one that comes to mind here. So I really appreciate the help and guidance you've provided us on this journey. We will be out talking to you much more about where IMAP is going to go in the new year. We're still storming and forming and getting our new people on board. So watch this space and we're looking forward to the kōrero. The investor confidence rating. I think this is something that's dear to everyone's heart in this room. The level of conversation that the investor confidence rating sparks is second only to the public sector discount rate, I think, for me. I prefer the public sector discount rate, but really got to say, really appreciate the work that Grant Petherick and Kerry Hollingsworth have put into the investor confidence rating. I think it's a great initiative. It's universally endorsed, and I think we can make it much better from listening to the feedback that you have provided. So, as you all know, the ICR draws on two key ideas. International research suggests that there's a strong positive link between current capability and future performance. And credit rating agencies use a repeatable information when assessing credit risk, so we can keep it going. The ICR is an incentive mechanism for agencies to improve capability and performance in investment and asset management. Improved capability is expected to lead performance. We've got 9 different elements which collectively provide a holistic assessment of an agency's capability using lead and lag indicators, lag being the performance. The weighting of the indicators is based on relative importance, and the way we assess the elements is driven by the Treasury, functional leads and external suppliers. I think there's been some interesting results with the investor confidence rating. We've seen improvement in round 2, 76% of the agencies had a B, which is the expectation of ministers, compared with 62% in round 1. It's working, although there's debate. So we indicated that we would do a review of the investor confidence rating after 2 rounds. Tregaskis Brown has supported us to review the investor confidence rating, and really appreciate your help and support. Karen and everyone in this room that provided feedback around that review. The key findings. At a basic level, there are issues with the methodology that underpins the ICR. It works, however, it is complex and it's not well understood. There's issues with the lack of integration of the ICR. The feedback was that it needs to be, the ICR, better integrated into the public finance system and into the investment management system. It needs to have much more gravitas in the work that we do as an investment management system. The lack of credibility is one that was intriguing for me because I think it's an excellent product and it does hold a lot of credibility. However, executive level stakeholders whose support is critical indicated that they were not completely sold on some of the framework ideas, its integration, so it comes to a lack of credibility. I think the credibility gap stems from the complexity, the potential for gaming, and the fact that the information and results weren't well integrated into the investment management system. The credibility of the ICR has also been affected by the perception that it's a Treasury process rather than a system process. So these are all key learnings from going out talking to yourselves, talking to people within the Treasury and within our functional leads. So extremely useful feedback. So what are we going to do about it? So our direction of travel subject to detailed design for the ICR is to simplify and make the rating more data focused. This is something that we heard loud and clear. It'll focus almost exclusively on investment performance indicators. We're hopeful this will reduce the data information burden for everyone and increase visibility. Asset performance will be removed and maturity assessments as they are now required, will not be required by default. We're going to introduce a new outlook or reinvigorate the old outlook, depends on how you look at it. It will be determined by investment officials in consultation with the Treasury. The idea is we leverage a broad range of information from investment officials with discussions with the agency. We'll have a tailored use of deep dives if required. So moving to a data-led approach provides the opportunity to have a more frequent investor confidence rating. At the moment, we're thinking that we could go to, we could almost go to a yearly cycle, and that's our working assumption. The outlook, we're working through, but that is the working assumption there. The key thing here is these are the high-level design features that we've landed on, but the detailed design is yet to come. So the key changes to the ICR will have more focus on agency performance. It should enhance integration within the investment management system and make the ICR more sustainable for agencies. So, the revised ICR approach will apply from 2022. We have your feedback, which supported, as I said, has supported the high-level changes, but is the detailed design that we require to land what it actually looks like. So, in a rating, so that is the letter, ABC, the systems data strategy will underpin how we generate a rating. And we need to allow time for us to develop our data strategy and inform the information that we will collect. This means that some agencies could have a gap of up to 4.5 years since their last ICR, but in our view, it's better to get this right than rush it. Existing ratings will continue until the agency is reassessed, unless there's been a significant change to the organisation structure. We will have an outlook. I'm hopeful that we can move into these outlook discussions from June next year, mid-2021. And detailed design will involve a collaborative process with investment officials and you as agency stakeholders. Deep dives, as I mentioned earlier, these will be commissioned as a result of an outlook conversation or the ICR itself. The intent was to go once over lightly because I know everyone must be excited to ask me some questions, which I'm happy to answer, but it's prefaced with the ICR. We need to get it right. We've got the high level now and we want to move into the detailed design with you. So detailed questions are great, but I can probably give you the sweeping answer, which is I look forward to designing it with you.